Right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to the West County Democratic Club for this opportunity to introduce myself and talk about my campaign for state senate. I'm Berkeley Mayor Jesse Arrenguin. I've served as mayor of Berkeley for the past 8 years and in public office for nearly 20 years. And I'm running for state senate because the East Bay needs a proven progressive problem solver who will focus on addressing public safety, building affordable housing, fully funding our schools, and advocating for universal health care. I'm the son and grandson of farm workers that worked in the fields of the Central Valley. And growing up and hearing the struggles of my family, living in labor camps and facing exploitation, the fact that farm workers, the people that feed us, are some of the most exploited people in our society is unacceptable and inspired me at a young age to dedicate my life to fighting for economic and social justice. At the age of 10 years old, I was marching with Dolores Huerta, who has given me her sole endorsement of my campaign for state senate, to name a street in my hometown of San Francisco after my hero Cesar. And I've been at it ever since. And for nearly 20 years, I've been a strong advocate for climate action, housing justice, economic justice, labor rights, and fighting for our progressive values. I'm proud to have led Berkeley through a period of transformative change. We're building thousands of new housing units, including deeply affordable housing and permanent supportive housing. Our work in addressing homelessness has resulted in a 45% decrease in unsheltered homelessness over the past 2 years. We're working to reimagine public safety and advance a holistic vision for public safety. And Berkeley's been at the forefront of electrification and climate justice. I'm running for state senate because I believe that we need leaders who will share our values, who know how to work, build coalitions, who will get things done. I'm honored to have the sole endorsement of our outgoing state senator, Nancy Skinner, along with Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Democratic Party, and a growing coalition of West County leaders, including Contra Costa Supervisor John Joya, and mayors and council members from throughout West Contra Costa County. To your question specifically, what are my top 3 legislative priorities if elected to the state senate? One, I want to continue the state's progress to build more housing. We are facing a significant shortage of housing in California at all levels, not just market rate housing and ownership housing, but housing, deeply affordable housing, including permanent supportive housing for people living in our streets. And in Berkeley, I've led the biggest building boom in 50 years. We're building thousands of units of housing. We need to continue to streamline production. We need to increase investment in affordable housing. I think we need to bring back some form of redevelopment to make sure we have funding to be able to build affordable housing. And I will fight to defend and protect rent control and expand tenant protections. I believe that we need to not just repeal Costa-Hawkins, but also make sure that we can create a statewide rental assistance fund so people that are facing housing insecurity and homelessness have the resources to stay stably housed. That's how we prevent homelessness. That's how we end homelessness. On housing affordability, the state has estimated that we need 2.5 million homes to address the current shortage. And the state has set ambitious goals for each jurisdiction to meet over the next 8 years, including building thousands of units of permanent affordable housing. At the Association of Bay Area Governments, which I've led for the past several years, I'm proud to have led an effort to put a $20 billion affordable housing bond on the Bay Area ballot. You'll be asked to vote on that bond this November. I urge you to vote yes, and I urge this club to endorse that measure. That will unlock billions of dollars of funding that we can use to build permanently affordable housing, to preserve housing, to keep people stably housed in our region. But we need partners at the state level who will advocate for resources, who will provide additional money so that we can build affordable housing in West Contra Costa County and in Alameda County. And I want to be a housing champion in the state legislature. What are my ideas around improving public education? First and foremost, we need to prioritize public education over private education. And I do not support allowing the expansion of charter schools. I think we need to increase our funding for public education at all levels, from pre-K all the way to higher education. Our community colleges are woefully underfunded. And as we're facing multi-billion-dollar budget deficits at the state level, we need leaders that will fight to protect and expand education funding, who will work to reform our tax system by closing corporate loopholes, such as the loopholes in Proposition 13, to create more revenue so we can fully fund our public education system. And so I believe that we need to invest in public education. We need to expand funding for public education. We need to fund universal, affordable childcare and preschool for kids throughout the state of California. And we need to make affordable higher education a reality for everyone. Healthcare reform. I strongly support a single-payer universal healthcare system in California. And in the state Senate, I will work in partnership with the California Nurses Association, with other stakeholders to fight for single payer. um, with so many things, with the potential of a Trump presidency, California has to lead. And if we can do single payer in California, it can build the movement for single payer at the national level. We also need to push for prescription drug reform to make sure that we can make prescription drugs affordable for everyone, seniors and everyone. And we need to work to make the cost of healthcare affordable and accessible for all people. One of the things that we saw in the pandemic was that the lack of access to universal health care has had a disproportionate impact and has driven disproportionate health outcomes. And so I strongly believe in health equity and making sure that we can expand access to health care for everyone and to make sure we can maintain healthcare access. And one of my top priorities, if elected to the state Senate, is to work with leaders in West County to make sure we have a full service hospital to serve Berkeley and West Contra Costa County. We cannot make West Contra Costa County a hospital desert. I've led the fight these past 8 years to save Alta Basin. I want to use my office in the state Senate to work to make sure that we have not just one, but potentially 2 hospitals to serve Alameda County and West Contra Costa County. On climate change, we are facing a climate emergency. The extreme heat temperatures that we're seeing are just the beginning. We're seeing rising sea levels, catastrophic wildfires. We are feeling the effects of climate change now. So while we need to phase out fossil fuels and ensure a just transition for people working in refineries, we also need to make bold steps to advance electrification, to fully fund that transit, to address adaptation and addressing sea level rise, and to expanding parks and open space. These are all things I want to fight for in the state Senate. So honored to have the support of a broad coalition. Once again, Senator Nancy Skinner, Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Democratic Party, SCIU California, labor, elected leaders, West County leaders are supporting my campaign. My pledge to West County is to represent every city in the Senate district. I pledge to have a West County district office. I pledge to be accessible to West County leaders, to visit city councils, to solicit legislative and budget priorities, to form an advisory committee of West County leaders to inform the work that I'm doing, and to stay connected and to be a voice and a champion for West County. I'd be honored to have your endorsement. Thank you.